Dude, you need to fix that phone, because we're getting some audio crackle. I thought it was going too well tonight. I thought the stream was going too well. Things were relatively running smoothly. Yes, your internet kept dropping out every now and then Mai decided to do it. So, unfortunately, we've had to create like a part 2, which is really going to fuck with my OCD when I come to do the playlist for this series, and there's 2 for episode 4. That's really going to piss me off. But we're here. We're almost at the end. It's really annoying that happened, because we were this close. I don't even know where we got up to. I was waxing for. I was waxing philosophical about something. I can't remember what I was saying now. So it must have been some really profound shit. But anyway, sorry you guys got to miss out on that. Hopefully everyone can hear JX, because I've had to completely redo the whole thing on this from the ground up pretty much. But here we are. We've got 1 viewer. That's fine. It looks like we've got 1 viewer. So hopefully they will let us know if you're not coming through loud and clear. I was saying, where did I get up to last time? I mentioned that I thought it would be a really cool twist if when Sabine handed the map over to Ray Stevenson, and then she started getting force choked. I thought that would be a really profound, cool way of ending that episode. But I guess all sense of... Oh, I know what I was saying. I was predicting about who I think's going to make it out alive at the end of this series. Ahsoka ain't dying. Hera ain't dying. None of the female characters will die. Even Reva, for God's sake. Like, they tempted her death twice. He's fine. He's a child. They're not going to kill a child. Oh, wait. George Lucas would. But this is Disney. And with Disney, we get broom children. So he ain't dying. It's not going to happen. He'll be fine. He will be fine. And he's been on screen twice. Like, we don't even know anything about him other than that he is Hera's child. I don't quite get how that works, because wouldn't he be like... Yeah, wouldn't he be like part alien? I've seen David Cronenberg's The Fly. I'm not sure how things work. Interesting. Okay. Weirder things have happened in Star Wars, but I'm not sure that's how it works. Anyway, yeah, I was kind of predicting how this was all going to go down, and I'm going to make my prediction right now. Judging by Disney's track record, SeaWorld Man says, nah, fix it, JX. Oh, for fuck's sake, are you silent? Dude, please check the stream. Please check the stream. Oh, he says, nah, fix it, JX. It messing up. SeaWorld Man, can you be a bit more specific? Is JX's audio coming through? He sounds really low. Okay. Well, that's going to be on your end, my dude. You're up on full on mine, so whatever your microphone settings are, you got to fix that shit. Oh, he's gone. This is an uphill battle tonight, folks. This is almost as arduous as having to try and get through this episode of Ahsoka this evening. I promise we'll try and get this fixed for like next week. But okay, have you fucked with your audio? What is up with your audio? It yeah, but it's going to be on your end because you're cranked all the way up full on mine, dude. Your volume's full on the stream settings. Yep, your audio's all. You might need to change the location of which microphone it's coming out of, maybe, if it's coming out of your earphone microphone as opposed to your actual... Have you fucked with the settings? Right, okay. While JX is doing that, I'll... Okay. Okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. Right, I'm going to power on. So, what I was saying at the end of the last stream before it cut off, because I don't want to tempt fate again in case it's going to cut out on me again. My prediction is that all of the female characters will make it out alive in this show. Knowing what Disney is now, I don't think they're going to kill off any of the female characters, because as we know, the Force is female. So, Hera's going to make it out alive. Ahsoka's going to make it out alive. Sabine's going to make it out alive. We already know this anyway because she got stabbed with a lightsaber at the end of episode 1. If anyone gets stabbed with a lightsaber and they're fine, chances are like that just kills the tension for any other possible scenario that character will find themselves in. They've now tempted fate twice. She's had two lightsaber fights. She got stabbed in the first one. She was immediately recovered at the beginning of the second episode. She had another lightsaber fight in this one. She almost got force choked, but then they didn't. So she's alive again. Like, they're not going to kill her off. If any character is going to die, let me, okay, let's try this. Okay, you need to talk, dude. Okay, we've got to wait 30 seconds. Right, dude, I love you. Cut it off tonight. I'll fly solo for the rest of this, and we'll fix it next time. Apologies for this, guys. I don't know what's happening. I really don't. Streamlabs I thought was a good idea, and it seems incredibly temperamental. So it's just going to be me closing out, I'm afraid. Sorry for that. I tell you what. Let me try and. I'm going to try and increase the size of the webcam a little bit. There we go. Just for tonight, I'll fly solo and I'll get through the rest of this because this stream is going tits up tonight. And it's really annoying. It's really annoying. Hopefully we can get it figured out by next week and things run a bit smoother. Yeah, I keep getting taken off the point. I'm going to come back to it now. So what I'm saying is I don't think Disney will kill off any female characters. They've proven that they won't kill off Sabine because narratively, what's the point in keeping her around if you're just going to kill her off later on in the series? I think the one character that is on the chopping block is, sadly, and you know, it's kind of bad timing, is Ray Stevenson's character. He's one of the only male characters in the show, so I don't think they like him. Seaworld Man says he sounded great before. Yeah, I know. We haven't like fucked with any of the settings, so I'm not quite sure what's happened with it tonight. But I'll just keep trucking tonight, and then we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out next time. Yeah, JX has sent me his notes, so I will finish those off when I get to them. So right after that, let's just power on through. The cavalry is called in. Home One and all of the hero fighters come in to try and save the day to help out Ahsoka. And we have X-Wing pilots. We have the Chinese pilot from, I think he's Chinese. The Asian pilot, I will say. The Asian pilot from Mando is there, and of course he survives because, you know, we want to keep him around in case we want to bring him back for Mando or any other spin-offs that we choose to do. How is that? What was that going to be called? The Rangers of the New Republic? What was it going to be called? The one that... Oh, what's her name? Cara Dune. What's the actress's name? The one who got fired by Disney because she had a difference in opinion. That show that never got off the ground and will never happen. I can't remember what it was. Sheriffs of the New Republic, whatever it was going to be called. The spin-off of Mando, which will never happen. We get a Greedo pilot, which was funny. A Rhodian shows up complete with subtitles. That was funny. And it's right around this time that the enemies, obviously, they've acquired the map. Sabine's now with the bad guys. And, oh yeah, my other prediction. So I mentioned that I think Ray Stevenson will get killed. I'm pretty sure the one to do it will be his apprentice. The blonde-haired, silent apprentice. I think it'll be her. I know they're not Sith, but it'll kind of play into the rule of two kind of thing. And we're not going to see Ray Stevenson kill any female characters in this show. It ain't going to happen, not on Disney's watch. But a female character, women get it done. I can see the apprentice killing him. I think if anyone's going to kill him in this series, I think it will be her. I'm pretty sure. Then the enemies, they have their complete hyperdrive thing. They have the map, and they blast off towards Thrawn, taking out a bunch of X-Wings apart from the Chinese fighter pilot. He's fine, apparently. He still gets hit with the same thing, but he's fine. Right after this, you have Hera's child say, "Mom, I've got a bad feeling." So that's clearly I've got a bad feeling about this, which I know is a Star Wars thing, but I don't know if it was the delivery or if the fact that the child said it. I thought it was really awful. And speaking of really awful, we come to the end now. Okay, yeah, so I'll be getting to JX's notes now. So, we then cut to Ahsoka. Last time we saw Ahsoka, she got knocked off a cliff during the lightsaber fight with Ray Stevenson. She wakes up, and she's in the world between worlds, which was established in Rebels, which is kind of like this interdimensional space that connects all of events through time, but it's not time traveling, and you can't actually go. You can see all of time happening around you, but you can't actually specifically go into any particular time slot, except the one that Ahsoka goes into, or Ezra pulls Ahsoka out of, so you can interfere with things. It's weird and convoluted and makes no sense, and I'm not keen on the idea of time travel or interdimensional travel shit in Star Wars. That's more Star Trek-y kind of stuff. I don't think it really has any place in Star Wars, but hey. Again, I haven't seen all of Rebels, so I haven't seen the entire context behind it. But yeah, she finds herself there. I don't know how her falling off a cliff, which would kill any other person, any other Jedi. Or I guess Obi-Wan falls off a cliff in Revenge of the Sith and he can swim. But anyway, like I wouldn't expect her to necessarily die from falling off that cliff, but she's now like transmitted her consciousness. It looks like she's in some kind of water though. When she's laying down, you can see the floor that she's lying on is kind of pulsating, like that is meant to be simulating water. I don't know if that's just how when you walk in the world between worlds, that's the kind of ripple effect that it gives off from your weight walking in this space, or if that's to say she's submerged in water somewhere and she's unconscious and her unconscious self is in this world. Similar to the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, I guess, when Aragorn falls off the cliff with the warg and he's in the water and he washes up on the bank, and then he has this sort of ethereal vision of Arwen bringing him back to life. So I'm assuming when she wakes up, she's going to be submerged in water. Not submerged, she's going to be floating in water, being carried away by a current somewhere, and this is just her mind has gone to this place, I would imagine. That's how I read the scene anyway. Because she's not going to be like fucking dead and have gone to this place. It's an actual place. But I'm curious, could people just go to this world between worlds in Rebels? I thought it was like a whole thing. I thought you had to find like a doorway, and you had those like wolves that ran around a portal, and you had to be standing in exactly the right spot at exactly right time. Then and only then can the door be opened, and then you go to the world between worlds. I thought that's what it was. I thought that was the whole thing of it, but can you just sort of go there? And can any Jedi go there? Well, Anakin's here, so is this actually Anakin? He's not like Force Ghost Anakin. He actually looks like Anakin in the flesh, kind of, apart from the CGI face, which we will talk about in a second, because holy fuck, this is the power and might of Disney. This is the money that Disney have, and there's people out there doing much better deep fakes for a fraction of the budget. So you get Hayden Christensen. Fuck it, I'm going to talk about it now. You get Hayden Christensen in Kenobi, and you don't de-age him, and it looks wildly wrong for that time period, and he looks really like he looks his age now. And this is meant to be taking place around the same time as Attack of the Clones, when he had, like, you know, the 18-year-old, 19-year-old, however old he was, 20-something boyish face. And now he looks like a middle-aged man, still trying to be Anakin from that time. There's been some great de-aging edits actually out there on YouTube, which, again, you know, people out there with their home computers with a bit of extra time on their hands make something much more in line with what it should be and professional looking than what Disney does. But this didn't even look like they had Hayden Christensen. This looks like they probably had a body double, similar to what they did with Luke in Mando Season 2. Actually, no, they had him on set, didn't they? They did have him on set, actually, Mark Hamill, if I remember rightly. So, I don't know, but this looked like they got some kind of body double. They've thrown together a really crude, awkward CGI face, and it looks terrible. It doesn't look like Anakin. The costume and the hair's Anakin, but the face, that face. See, when I look at it, you can kind of see some lines on the forehead, a little around like the upper lip kind of area. Under the eyes looks a little bit sunken, a little bit weird, so maybe they did actually get him, and this is Disney's attempt at de-aging, but I don't know. There's something about the face. It's like the eyes look wrong. Everything, it just looks uncanny valley to me. So I don't know if this is actually that they got Hayden Christensen on set, and this is their attempt at de-aging him, or if that is a completely CGI face with a body double. Because, you know, Hayden Christensen's probably expensive. And, you know, if they can get him in to do a voice, they can probably do it. But I don't know. Does that look off to any of you guys? That doesn't look like Anakin to me. And it sure as shit doesn't look like proper flesh. That looks all created in a computer for me. Yeah, I'm going to read JX's notes now. So the last two that I have. He says, "Oh, okay, we're in the world between worlds, so Anakin's ghost can pull her in. Looking forward to that deep fake. Wonder why there's a scary music cue after Anakin arrived." Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even have that in my notes, but so I'm glad I read that. That's a really great point. Yeah, it goes into the Imperial March. Bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, and it's okay. So this is post Return of the Jedi. Anakin's meant to be good at this point. Now, he doesn't look like a Force Ghost, so he's not glowing. He's not how we see him at the end of the special edition of Return of the Jedi. So, is this some kind of strange vision? Is this all in Ahsoka's mind? Because remember, the last time that Ahsoka saw Anakin was when he was Vader, I'm assuming? But then if... it goes into why doesn't Anakin's Force Ghost show up in the sequel trilogy, or any of the Force Ghosts for that matter. You only get Yoda in The Last Jedi, and he doesn't act like regular Yoda. He acts like the ruse, the comedic Yoda, when he was, you know, testing Luke in Empire Strikes Back. Anyway, that's another thing. But Force Ghosts can seemingly appear out of nowhere whenever they want to. So wouldn't Anakin have ever appeared to Ahsoka? I actually can't remember if she mentions talking to Anakin. When we in those couple of episodes in Book of Boba Fett where Ahsoka's with Luke, I wanted some conversation about Anakin. That's her master's son right there. That would be ripe for some good quality dialogue, some, you know, actually building these relationships and having these two have a conversation with each other, and they don't. They just kind of stand around and act bored with each other. So I actually don't remember if she mentions Anakin at length at any point, or communicating with Anakin. So I don't know. Let me read some of the comments here from JX, because we've got a lot here. He says, note the rule of two is the Sith attempting to use the natural order of the dark side to its fullest, so you don't need to be a Sith to see killing your master as a natural advancement. It would seem the only effect you can have using the world between worlds is inadvertent. If you intend to change something, you'd never intend to change it. It looked watery, unless it's also somehow the afterlife. Before Attack of the Clones, they have their lightsabers from... It feels like they think they can't do deep fakes. Like, other people on YouTube just do deep fakes, so they need to do deep fakes with CGI on top because they're big company. If they don't mix CGI in it, the Tarkin Rogue One was for nothing. Really want to hear a convo between Rex and Luke on Endor. Yeah, I don't know what it is with Disney, because from their deep fakes and their de-aging more than anything in the Marvel films looks great. Samuel Jackson in Captain Marvel, you know, it looks like a young Samuel Jackson from the 90s, fresh out of Pulp Fiction. It's great what they did there. At the time, a young Kurt Russell looked pretty good as well at the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Now, granted, that's been out for a while, and probably if I watched it now, I would see some of the cracks in the system. But my point is, they've proven they can do de-aging. Sometimes. Harrison Ford looked terrible at the beginning of the new Indiana Jones film. So fakey fake, so plastic. Tarkin looked like good rendered CGI, but it was too uncanny valley. The same with Leia at the end of the film. It's... yeah. I don't know what it is. But... It you know, as I say, people have proven from the few small shots that we get of Hayden Christensen in the Kenobi show where he's training with Obi-Wan Kenobi, they didn't de-age him there, and it looked really distracting. But some people have taken the time to use whatever means they have and do a de-aging tech, do a de-aging synth on his face, and it looks great, and it's dead simple, and it's relatively easy to do, and not the most time-consuming thing in the world. Disney can't even do that. Now they've kind of gone one step beyond, because people were complaining that he... Actually, for the most part, from most comments that I saw, people didn't really care that they didn't de-age Hayden Christensen. I thought they should have done, just to sort of match it with the time. But if this is the alternative, it seems like they've gone one step too far. All you have to do is have Hayden Christensen on set and just apply like a very, very simple, you know, smooth out some of the wrinkles, and that's it. You've got it. This almost looked like a completely CGI face, and I really want to know if it is or not. I'm going to bring it up one more time. I'm sorry, this is nightmare fuel, but the way that he spoke and just looking at the texture on the face, yeah, that looks totally CGI to me. There's something about the eyes. It just... Like, don't get me wrong, it's good CGI, but you can't do human... I'm going to do, like, before and after. Like, real human? Like, I don't know. It looks like it's all created in a computer for me. It's just so unnecessary. Just why? And I want to know why he's not a Force Ghost as well. Can Force Ghosts enter the world between worlds, or is it just for the living to do? But then you can go into windows and doorways that lead to past events where characters are probably dead. So you're seeing flashbacks in time to certain events. It's a weird thing, as I say. I'm not a fan of it personally. Jack says, cut back to the still. You cheeky bastard. JX says Tarkin looked good in stills, but once he was animated, it felt unnatural. Yeah, no, you're right. And here's the thing: like in Rogue One, they had so many opportunities where they didn't have to show Tarkin that much. There were two ways they could have gone with it. when he's got his back to them and you can kind of see the reflection of his face in the window, they should have just kept him from that angle. We know who it is. We can tell by the voice who it's meant to be, even though, of course, it's not Peter Cushing. That would have been fine. But then he has to turn around and they have to showcase it, and the head sort of, the face is like having to track awkwardly on the body, and you get like the really awful lip sync. Or even better still, have him appear on a hologram. You could probably then get away with having it be sort of like more of a CGI face, because you're going to have, it's all going to be distorted and it's going to be cutting in and out, and it's going to have the blue tint to it like a Star Wars hologram. That would have been fine. Just have Tarkin be on like another ship communicating with them, because he's got, you know, he's busy taking care of important shit elsewhere. He's on a Skype call. He's on a Skype conference. So yeah, you get the impression that they're really proud of this shit, and it looks terrible. Will they ever get it right? I don't know, because every time I think, oh, you know, this technology is getting really good, I can't wait to see where it goes, something like this comes out, or something like the young Harrison Ford in Indy 5 comes out, and I think, oof, you know, this shit isn't ready. Stop trying to do this. Jake says that Guy Henry is a little too mumbly in his performance. Yeah, it's not exact. It's not exact. I just personally, I just don't think they should have bothered, or yeah, as I say, just do a hologram or something. So that's kind of all I got. We see Anakin, so, you know, people on the internet are going to be going like, oh my god, and, you know, titles of YouTube videos in capital letters, oh my god, I cried. The reaction to Ahsoka episode 4, oh my god, I can't believe this, I cried as a Star Wars fan. Guess who I'm talking about. And then in a month's time, when the dust has settled, they'll be slagging off the show and saying how bad it is and how much of a missed opportunity it was, despite the fact that in the moment they're very much sitting on the fence and loving it. It'll be very interesting to see, won't it? But a lot of people are losing their shit because it's like, oh my god, Anakin said snips, and this is like, you know, we're seeing Anakin again, and he's talking to Ahsoka, his apprentice. Oh my god, it's great. And I'm just there like, whoa, back the fuck up. We've got exactly no conversation between these two. He's literally just said hello to her, basically. That's all he said to her. And the CGI looks terrible, and we're going to have, what I assume, a whole conversation between these two in the next episode. And that shit is going to look terrible, because if this is the best they can do from a relatively stationary still shot of Hayden Christensen's Anakin, we're going to get them walking side by side with each other, walking and talking, and it's going to look terrible. But yeah, that's kind of what I've got. But yeah, as you said, it's going to be interesting with the music. Why do we get an Imperial march? Is Ahsoka going to be really angry at Anakin? But if this is Force Ghost Anakin, why doesn't he look like a Force Ghost? Or if Disney just fucked up there. If it is actually Anakin post Return of the Jedi, then is he going to explain to her what happened? Does Ahsoka already know? Surely Luke would have told her that information. We know that she's hung out with Luke, and it seems like a pretty big thing to talk about. So she should know these things of what Anakin did. Or is this just all in her own mind? Because he kind of looks like Revenge of the Sith Anakin. He's not in the Force Ghost robes that he has at the end of Return of the Jedi Special Edition. So I think this is just all in her mind. But I don't know if that's how it works. I don't know if you can just imagine people into the World Between Worlds, or if people in the World Between Worlds actually have to physically be there walking around, if they've also found a way there. I'm not sure how it works. You know, the doorways, they connect to different periods in time. I get that, but in terms of people actually walking around in there, I don't know if you can just imagine people into it, like an Inception kind of thing, like you fill it in with your subconscious. I don't know if that's how it works, or if you actually have to, it's a physical place and people actually have to like fucking show up to it. So I don't know. And we will find out maybe next week. So I'm going to round this thing off because it's getting very late. I'm exceptionally tired, and this live stream has had an absolute hissy fit tonight. So fingers crossed fingers and toes crossed next week things run a little bit smoother. I do want to say a big thank you to JX for taking way longer to hang around and try and keep this thing going and to try and jump back in, and obviously for keeping the conversation going in the comments. I appreciate you, dude, and thank you for joining me on tonight's conversation. We'll do like a test. We'll jump on a bit sooner next time, maybe, and just see if our webcams are working, and maybe it only kind of goes that way once we hit live, and I don't. We'll find out. JX says, if this is how her mind chooses to imagine how Anakin talks to her, that's kind of dumb. Would be the temple. We'll find out. We'll find out next week. So anyway, that's mine and JX's notes on Ahsoka Part 4 Fallen Jedi. I don't know what the next title is next week, but we'll be back again next Thursday at 11 p.m. hopefully with a much smoother live stream. And yeah, that'll do it for me. So I'm going to round off everyone. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in tonight, and I'll hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching.